anybody who has a YouTube channel would know that there's getting hate comments from rude people, unreasonable people. It's as common as breathing. So I know that people with more followers than I do would probably be eating hate comments for breakfast. So some people are asking me how I deal with it. Some of them don't have a YouTube channel. Some of them are just curious as to how I deal with hate comments. So number one, by nature, I've always had this. It's not by nature, but I've developed a practice where I put the people that I love in the shoes of the people that I don't like or are doing something that are not nice. There's this saying where you treat people the way you want to be treated. I go a step further and I actually treat other people. I try to treat other people the way I want the people that I love to be treated. And the answer is always compassion. You know, I'm more protective of the people that I love than I am of myself, because I know I don't care about these people, so whatever, you can do whatever. But when it's the people that I love, and I'm sure that's the same for many of you, you're more protective of them. And so in the end, I think about it like, how if this is my mom or my dad or my niece, whom I consider to be my daughter, how would I want others to react? And it's always compassion. I want people to be compassionate towards them, even if they did something wrong. If they offended somebody intentionally or unintentionally, whatever that is, I still want people to show and give them compassion. And so that's what I try to give the people that are leaving hate comments or just plain rude, here on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, or even emailing me. So from there, as I've said, it's easier to determine how I would want to deal with them. Of course, it's not consistent. There are times when I get caught in a bad situation. Well, I mean, if I'm going through something, I'm not in a good mood, and then somebody says something offensive, I could get affected, and that has happened many times before, more times than I care to admit. But by principle, or as much as I can, I try to be compassionate. So yeah, I try to put the people that I love in the shoes of all of these people, and that's how, and I react the way I would want others to react to the person that I love. So that's, so if I can, I show compassion as a response to hate. Number two, I like progressing conversations. I feel like that's really how we start to make progress as a civilization, as humans. That's where it starts, good conversations, progressive conversations. So I try to enlighten people from my perspective. Like, from my point of view, I try to explain it further. I explain it better. I try look for ways on how to express my point of view a little better in a way that they will understand as well. I stick to the issue and not on the emotion. A lot of people, and this I find to be true, most of the time, hate comments and rude people, they actually have a point. It's just that their point is getting clouded by the anger that they feel or the rush of emotion. But if you actually look through it, they usually have a point. It may not always be a valid point, or it may not always be a point that I agree on, but they do have a point. And so I find that if I just take a step back, try to like filter the emotions out of it and just stick to the issue, I would be able to respond to it better. I also so I try to understand the principle behind the anger, if there's any. Sometimes I do manage to like get a new perspective. I learn. Sometimes I actually learn, or sometimes I just learn how to find the new point, like to look at things from a different point of view or a different perspective, which allows me to grow as a person and as a YouTuber. Number three is that it may be the marketer in me. I've been doing marketing since, I'm not going to say how many years. Let's just say over a decade. So I've been doing marketing over a decade, and one of the things that we like is publicity. Free publicity. When you garner a reaction from your target audience, then that means something. So publicity, good or bad, is still good publicity. So if they want to comment, go ahead. be my guest. But then that only works because of the next point that I have, and that is that I really don't care. I don't care about the words of people um, that I don't respect. That's a hard. That's a very strong word, actually. Like if that don't matter to me. Yeah, I think that's a better way of putting it. I don't care about the opinion of people who don't matter to me. So if there's some, like a worm, if if a worm tells me, hey, you're an idiot, I'm not gonna put a, okay, you're a worm, I care about you, so why will I put any weight on your word? So yeah, so I just by nature I just don't really care. So whatever, sometimes I have fun with it, I joke around. Maybe I'll piss them off and that's going to give me a good laugh or whatever. So yeah, and then harassment only becomes harassment when you feel harassed, and it's very, very, very hard to stress me out, to harass me because I'm just so indifferent with a lot of things. So yeah, in general, I try to be compassionate, as I've said. Respond with compassion instead of hate. So I reply with compassion in response to hate, and I try to look for I stick to the issue by looking at the actual point behind the hatred. I filter out the hatred and just stick to the point. And sometimes, or most of the time, I actually do learn something and I gain a new perspective. And then I just a marketer. I know that's good. When people are commenting, that's good. So just leave them. Go ahead and comment. Be my guest.